Hi. Okay. Finally, I'm in my jammies. I am ready. I had a busy day. We are finishing chapter 2, which is, hold on, it's been a while, The Hall of Dreams. All right. Let me go back just a tiny bit. This is where the well, she tries to go and help everybody, tries to fill up the well. Now the well is overflowing. Not a good thing. Hi. Sorry, one kid. Okay, here we go. I fixed it, Alex happily called down to the village below. The villagers peeked out from their homes, stared up at her, each soaked, dripping, and furious. The good news is you have water again. Alex tried to laugh it off, but no one joined her. The muddy unicorn joined the young fairy at the top of the hill. Okay, Cornelius, let's get out of here. So she climbed to on his back and they took off, not in the direction of their next stop, but just as far away from the soaked village as they could get for the moment. They found a tiny stream in the woods and cleaned themselves up. Cornelius had a hard time looking at his own reflection in the water. He was fat, broken, and dirty. Poor guy. Would you like me to use my wand to make you clean again? Alex asked Cornelius. The unicorn shook his head. He didn't want what had happened to the well to happen to him. Okay then, Alex said. Let's move on then to our final stop. It was a couple of hours until noon, and Cornelius's magic horn steered them toward the southwest corner of the Eastern Kingdom. A farm appeared in the distance, and Alex thought she recognized it. Haven't we been here before? Alex asked Cornelius, but he was certain his horn was leading them to the right place. Up ahead, Alex saw a farmer building a fence around his vegetable garden and figured that he was the man they were looking for. Excuse me, do you need any help? She had asked the farmer. The farmer wiped the sweat off of his brow and looked over his shoulder at her. He instantly got to his feet and waved her away like she was a wild animal he didn't want to deal with. Whoa, 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 said the farmer. I don't want any trouble, lady. Alex was insulted. What about her could possibly make him believe that she was bringing trouble? Sir, I'm not trying to cause any harm, Alex assured him. I'm a fairy. I'm here to help. The farmer placed his hands on his hips and squinted at her. That's what you said the last time, he said. The last time, Alex said. So I've been here before? The farmer regretfully nodded. Yes, you helped me put a fence around my yard to keep out the rabbits and deer, he informed her. Alex pressed her index finger to her mouth as she recalled. Oh, I remember you. You're Farmer Robbins, she said. But what happened to the fence I gave you? Alex heard a door shut. She had looked up and saw Farmer Robbins' son coming out from their house. Alex didn't have any trouble remembering him. He was strong and tall. No more than a year older than her and had wispy hair that covered his face. And in Alex's opinion, was very handsome. The animals ate your fence, the farmer said with a brash smile. It was made of vines and leaves, so it was fun to watch you make it all magically grow out of the ground, but then it wasn't ideal for keeping out the herbivores. Duh. Don't you have a table to build? Farmer Robbins asked his son. I'm on a break, the son said. Clearly he wanted to stick around to see, since Alex was there. She tried her best not to look at him directly in the eyes. She could feel herself blushing as she did. Well, why didn't you tell me that the fence didn't work the last time I was here? She asked the farmer. You didn't give us much of a chance, the farmer's son answered for him. You sort of waved your wand and then you left, insisting that there was no need to thank you. Alex shook her head and rolled her eyes. Goodness, no good deed goes unpunished, she said to herself. Well, then I insist that you let me make it up to you. Alex raised her wand and she was just about to give a new fence, make a new fence appear when the farmer blocked her. Young lady, Farmer Robbins said rudely, I've got a full day of chores ahead of me and building this fence is just the beginning. The best thing you can do is leave us alone. Stop wasting our time. Well, that's silly, Alex tried to argue. All I have to do is wave my wand and the fence will be done. I said leave. Farmer Robbins yelled, losing his patience with her. We don't want your help and we don't need it. I know you people solve everything with just a flick of your wrist, but people like us know how to take care of ourselves. So please go, turn a maid into a princess or something you've done before, or do something before I say something I will regret. Alex's mouth dropped open. She wasn't going to let somebody speak to her like that, especially after the awful morning she had been having. Farmer Robbins had picked the wrong day to mess with this fairy. No, Alex shouted at the farmer. What? The farmer said. No, I will not leave, Alex said. The farmer's son perked up. This was going to be interesting. I'm really sorry for going out of my way to help you, but you aren't the only one with a job, buddy, Alex said. She stepped closer to Farmer Robbins. The fact is, you need my help, whether you want it or not. And that's why I'm here. That's why my unicorn brought me. So swallow your pride, step back, and get out of my way, because I am not leaving until this fence is built. Farmer Robbins looked genuinely terrified of Alex. His son bit his fist and choked on the laughter building inside of him. Alex set her wand on the ground, rolled up her sleeves. She walked over to the farmer and reached for his hammer. What are you doing? The farmer asked. Give me your hammer, Alex said. I don't need magic to build this fence. She yanked the hammer out of his hands and picked up a couple of pieces of wood and continued to build what the farmer had started. Farmer Robbins and his son stood motionless and watched the young fairy work. You two have so much work to do today. I suggest you get to it while I build this, she snapped with a dirty glare. They didn't argue. Farmer Robbins went to work, a few feet away, pulling the carrots out of the ground, and his son went back inside the house to finish the table. Alex built the fence at a very quick pace, fueled by frustration. She had the whole thing done in under 2 hours. She pounded the final nail into the last piece of wood and returned to her unicorn. I'm done, she called to Farmer Robbins. His son had stepped back outside to see the completed fence. He was very impressed at the young fairy's craftsmanship. She retrieved her wand from the ground and jumped onto Cornelius's back. Have a nice day, gentlemen, she said. And by the way, no need to thank me, because I'm a fairy and it's my job. You could just see her doing this, right? Alex and Cornelius galloped away, leaving 2 stunned farmers in the dust behind them. It was a few moments past noon by the time Alex made it back to the fairy kingdom. She left Cornelius in the meadow at the edge of the gardens and hurried toward the fairy palace, not wanting to keep her grandmother waiting any longer. Oh, come on now. They aren't going to sting you, said a perky voice in the garden. Tangerina was seeding acorns to a family of squirrels in the tree when Alex ran past her. The bees flying around Tangerina's beehive were making the squirrels very apprehensive. Hi, Tangerina, Alex said. Oh my goodness, what happened to you? Tangerina asked when she saw Alex hurrying past her. Between fixing the well and building the fence, Alex had become filthy. You look like you fell into a stream. It's a long story, Alex said, trying to avoid getting wrapped up in an explanation. Did someone say stream? The airy voice asked from across the garden. Skylene had surfaced in the nearby pond. Her long, silky hair and gown were one with the water as she floated through it. Poor Alex has had a rough morning, Tangerina said. Just trying to help as many people as I can before noon. My noon lesson with Grandma, Alex told her fairy counterparts. Don't work too hard, Alex, Skylene said. You've got a big day coming up. She floated through the pond and gently touched the surface with her finger, causing gorgeous white lilies to appear around her. I'm getting a head start on the decorations. I've always loved a good fairy inauguration celebration. It's an excuse for the kingdom to look at its best. I can't wait for the inaugural ball. My bees have been making me a brand new honeycomb gown as we speak, Tangerina had said. How fancy is this inaugural ball? Alex asked them, feeling like a hurricane of anxiety forming inside of her. I thought it was just a simple ceremony. Do I have to dress up? Tangerina and Skylene exchanged the same worried look, as if she had asked them what the sun was. Sweetheart, the fairy inaugural ball is how you're introduced to society, Skylene said. You need to look how you want to be remembered. Every fairy in the kingdom will be there, Tangerina said, and they'll all be there to see you. Sure. Sorry. Mom duties. Alex closed her eyes. Oh, great, she said, as if joining the fairy council wasn't enough now. I have to worry about looking nice in front of the whole kingdom. Why does it seem like fairies always spare the details until the very last minute? Not to worry, dear. You'll look fine in whatever you choose, Tangerina said. Yes, just don't choose that, Skylene said and pointed to the dirty dress she was currently wearing. Alex sighed quietly. She waved her wand over her body and her dress sparkled until it was like new again. Well, good talk, girls. Thanks, she said and continued to the fairy palace. Alex ran up the golden front steps of the palace and down the main hall and up the flight of stairs to the top floor where her grandmother's chambers were. They were some of the only parts of the palace that had 4 walls. walls, so Alex had to knock. "Come in, dear," Alex heard her grandmother say, and she stepped inside. It didn't matter how many times she had been there, her grandmother's room always dazzled her. Excuse me. To call the fairy godmother's chambers anything but spectacular would be an understatement. The furniture was made of rosy dust clouds and floated around the room. Her bed was under the branches of a white willow tree. Whoa. That sounds creepy. What my kids are doing outside. Hold on. Under the branches of a white willow tree with crystal leaves. Instead of the fire burning in the giant fireplace on one side of the room, bubbles emitted from it and filled the air. A chandelier made of 100 perched doves floated above the center of the room, and although there was no ceiling from it to hang from... Okay, hold on.